Skeletower time, yay. Let me go to YouTube. Dashboard. Boom. Turn that on. Save. Share. Share this with all the really cool people on the Discord. Ah, people have been posting in Luigi Springboard. I must continue. Alright, I'm gonna go over here to sneak peeks, or not sneak peeks, stream notifications. Control V, at notification squad. Skeletower, skeleton making stream. Yeah, very cool. There we go. Um, yep, looks good to me. The stream is set up. So yeah, welcome everyone back to Skeletower. Today I'm going to be making the rest of the player model. So that's going to be cool. I think I need to, yeah, visit the import. So I can click there to open up Blender. So last time we left off, we were making this skeleton. Oh, chat, a cool spine. Sure hope they don't get scoliosis. Yeah, that would be a shame if... But I just make that an enemy? Scoliosis. Also, welcome to the stream, Harry Mario. Good that you can make it. Thank you for joining us. First thing I should probably do is I should get a reference image up. Let me open up Dolly. I have some reference prompts there. So yeah, let's start off by making this. Let's start off by making some bones. Excuse me. Well, first of all, I should probably look at this. So I have these bones up here that connect the shoulders. The rest look like they sort of come from lower down, or more connected to the spine than the outside, I guess is the best way to put it. Human ribs anatomy. So yeah, I got those bones. And then yeah, everything else just kind of expands outward, but it starts from a lot shorter, and they aim downwards, it looks like. Yeah, slightly. The higher ones are more, or there's one that's higher up, but I don't think I'm really gonna make that one. I think it might look weird. You know, I gotta say, there's at least 5 ribs. Hope that helps. Yeah, I'm not modeling 5 ribs. I'm modeling like 3. Because if I model more, the more ribs I model, um, just takes more time. And it like I want this model to be efficient in terms of topology. Like right now, I'd say it's pretty efficient because I does this have a modifier? Yeah, it does. Ah, Blender didn't like that one. I hit tab to enter edit mode and it did not like that. So yeah, this is the topology normally. Granted, it gets subdivided by 2, but I mean, even if you subdivide it, no, it gets subdivided once. So if I go ahead and apply this, you can clearly see that it's not that much topology, really. Compare that to most modern games, and it's really not that much. Even still, I want to keep my topology simple. How much topology do these have? Like, you can see that it's honestly not that much. Like, don't get me wrong, it's not just a cube. But it honestly isn't that bad, I don't think. Anyway, let's start making some ribs. New collection. We're going to call this ribs. I'll call this rib S. And this is his left rib, so I'm going to call it rib SL. Rib SR. And the S stands for shoulder, by the way. We can drag these into ribs. Let's make another one. Subdivision surface. Z. Shrink it down. Actually, I want to move it up a little bit. Move it a little on the X. Yeah, we'll do that. Now what I want to do is I want to take these. It's going to be starting at a point, so I should be able to just grab these two, merge them. Put that there. Um, hmm. I'm going to move these down a little bit. I actually want it to bend around like this. So I'm going to extrude this out now. Rotate it. Shrink it down a little bit. This is going to be a relatively small bone. Bring that in, merge it. Rotate this a little bit. I'm going to bring this out on this angle. That way it's a little bit more smooth. A little bit more rib-like, you know. I'm actually going to make this triangular, so I'm going to take this point, extrude it out here, just like that. And now I can go ahead and fill in between these two gaps. And of course, these two gaps. Wow, this subdivision is crazy in terms of shrinking it down. Like, I knew it was going to shrink it down a little bit because that's what subdivision does, but god damn. Also going to decrease the subdivision there. I guess it's just because of how low poly this is. I guess I should mention what I'm hoping to do today. Besides making the model, I'm also hoping to start making the explosion effect whenever you self-destruct or die, where the bones go fly everywhere and then get like dragged by the heart. Obviously, to do that, we need all the bones. Technically, we don't, but it'll be easier to do once we have all the bones. I'll probably remake the model later, but it's good to have a placeholder right now. Let me shade smooth really quickly. There we go. And now I can just do this. Yeah. Do that, fill, and fill this. There is a really easy way to fix this, and that's just by adding a edge loop right here. What I can do is I can subdivide. Oh, I have to go around. Right click, subdivide. And then I can go right around here. Boom, boom, boom. Drag this along here. Now it basically has to make it to this point. And of course I can do that for the other side as well. Let me move this down a little bit so it looks more natural. Honestly, I kind of don't want this point. Delete that vertice. Fill that in. Give it a little bit more depth. That actually looks about right. Let me delete that vertice as well. Fill, rotate. Rotate a little bit more like that. I'm going to actually scale this up a little bit just so it's easier to see. That's one big thing that I'm worried about, the fact that these bones are so many of them, but they're individually quite small. So I'm going to scale them up just so they're easier for you to visualize. Let's see, how does that compare to a regular skeleton? Bit low down, honestly. Yeah, I think that looks a little better. Now what we can do is we can take this object, set origin to center of mass volume, and then we just go ahead and hit Alt D, and then I can go ahead and set its position here to the opposite of X. Boom. And set its scale on the X to -1. That is rotation. I am stupid. Scale to -1, and bam, it's flipped. When we go back into Unity, it automatically updates. I did not fix that. I did not give it the right material. That's fine for now, but yeah. Looks okay. Let's go ahead and give it the material. Actually, I think I'm going to change the material a little bit for right now. I think I can actually just make it purple or something, just so that way I know what has the material and what doesn't. It shouldn't update in Unity because Unity already has a bone material that it should automatically be using. Actually, it might change in Unity. I'm not sure. Let me see. It does. Okay. It's because it's such a simple color. It's not just not using it. In that case, I'll give it a slight bluish hue for now. I'll probably change it back when I'm done. Blue's a weird color. Something like that. That's barely any saturation at all, but that's what I'm looking for. Alright, cool. Honestly, we should be able to just scale this up. I'll call this rib. I might make the bones individually though. I don't know. Yeah, just so they're unique enough. Rib A. This is his left bone. Bib A. No, it's rib A. Or it's rib A. Yeah, it's rib A, right. Let's go ahead and add in another plane. We're going to do the same thing here. Give it the bone material. Shade smooth. Give it the modifier of subdivision surface. We can actually just start off by doing this. Just going to extrude this down. Then I'm going to go ahead, fill in with here, fill in both sides. There we go. Bring that up. I'm going to go ahead and bring that out a little bit. Then we're going to go bring this up a little bit. Actually, right here. Rotate it on the Z. Then we're going to bring you out. Let's scale this up a little bit, actually. Maybe not quite that much. Something like that. Yeah, that might be too much still. Scale that down for now. Only have like 2 segments. I mean, I might not need more than that. It's not. It isn't smart to just add detail for no reason. Like just random topology. This needs to be larger. Something I could do is I could just loop this around, take this cut here, and bring it out. Rotate it like that. I'm going to grab this face, scale it up a little bit. Yeah, I want to scale it down a little bit. Something like that. But that's too small. Let me give it a couple more loop cuts. Subdivide that. Subdivide this. Now let's move these cuts out. This will give us a little bit more fidelity to work with. Let me scale this in a little bit. I don't know. If I go like this, I'll probably have 2 more bones. Or 2 more ribs. I'm not sure if that's good or bad. This top feels weird. I'm going to bring it up a little. Scale it a little bit down on the X. Maybe on the Z as well. No, not on the Z. Looks okay on the Z. Yeah, I can live with that for now. Rib B R. Another's rib BL. I can go ahead and Alt D it. Before I do though, I need to center it. Set origin. Center mass volume. Alt D. Set its position to negative. Times -1. Boom. Make sure it transfers over to Unity. Looks pretty good. Man, this chat is dead. So unfortunate. Back to making ribs. I think it's because this rotation is slightly different. That looks a little more natural. Alright, we're going to go ahead and select all, and now I'm going to make it its own rib. Alright, next one. Oh wait, I didn't name this one R. Whoops. This is going to be rib C L. I can go ahead and give it the modifier, subdivision surface. And then I can go ahead and set this material to bone. something like this, maybe. One more. Rotate on the Z. That looks okay. Put that there. Oh, whoops. I don't actually want to fill that in. I just want to fill these in. There we go. Extrude this out. Bring that up. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, wait, that was actually a mistake. I want to do these at one at a time. Otherwise, you get weird results. There we go. Pretty good, I think. Needs to be a little bit thicker. Scale on the Z a little bit. Let me rotate this a little bit. And then scale it on the Z. There we go. Maybe rotate it a little bit back now. Bring it up. That looks pretty good. Let's go ahead and give it a double. I need to set its origin. This is the right one. We're going to go ahead and set its transforms times -1. And then we can go ahead and set its scale to -1. There we go. That's 3 of the 4 bones we're doing. Or 3 of the 4 ribs we're doing. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Gotta love allergies in allergy season. Alright. Excuse me again. What's up next? Let's go ahead and, yeah, just make the last rib. First of all, actually, I'm going to check it out in Unity. See how it looks. Looks pretty good. Could use a normal map on it. Let me do that. Player model. I'll have to see if I can add on a material. That might be hard to do, because if I would do that, I would have to do baking for a normal map, unless I can use a normal texture, like a noise texture. Unless I can use a noise texture here. I don't know though. But that's a problem we'll figure out later. I'm actually gonna call these SH, not just S, just so that way it's easier to know that they're shoulder. All right, let's make another rib. Plane. Um, we're gonna call this rib D, and then this is going to be left one. We're going to set its modifiers to subdivision surface, and we're going to set its material to bone. Shade smooth. Wait, did that go to auto smooth? No. Wait, I'm rotating on the Z. Oh wait, no, I am rotating on the Z. It just looked weird because of where the other face is. Rotate on the Z. Scale it down a little bit. Scale this down. Boom. And now we can bring this over just like that. This one actually doesn't have to be much thicker than the other bone above it, so I'm not going to make it much thicker. There we go. That is actually not good. Bring that up. Now rotate it on the Z so it actually goes like that. Come on. No, 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 no. A little bit more. There we go. And then one more. There we go. Bring this up a little bit. Nah, this is okay. No, bring that down on the Z. I was about to move it randomly on the X direction, which would not have been good. This might be rotated too much. That'd be my problem. That looks better already. Yeah. Bring out a vertice like that. Fill that in. Bring that back. Just like that. Fill. Fill. And one more. That's all we need. Just like that. We are good. Whoops. Like that. There we go. Fill that in. I actually need to bring this out a little bit more. Let me grab the whole middle section. Let me bring this in a little bit. I want this to be a fatter bone. Because the ribs actually, on a normal human being, they don't curve back in. They just get larger and larger as you get lower and lower. I'm going to make this face a little bit larger as well, just so the end of a bone's a little bit fatter. Same with the other side. Scale a little bit on the X. That looks okay. Alright, let's go ahead and set its origin to the center of mass. And we're going to Alt-D it. This is DR. Oh, hey, we're up to 2 viewers. Nice. People have joined. Welcome to the stream. Flip that. I mean, over here, we can flip it as well. And just like that, ribs are complete. You can check it out in Unity. The nice thing is that all of these are right here in the model. It just updates automatically. It's a really nice workflow. Unfortunately, it does look a little weird without, arms and the fact that they're forward. But, that's something we can fix. Alright, let's do this. So first things first, let's make the arms, because I feel like those are going to be problematic. How did AI make arms? Yeah, just bone. That's probably the most standard bone that I've seen. Or, that I've seen it make, I mean. Let's go ahead and add in a... should I start with a plane for this? Probably. I mean, I don't have to. I could start with a cylinder or a cube. I think I'm going to start with a plane, though. That's normally best. Because one thing I'm worried about is the end of the bones. One thing that I need to do is I need to take this. Let's start off with the basic top of the bone. So we're going to start off by shrinking this down a little bit. Then it's going to shrink down a little bit more, and it's going to be brought down a little bit before being brought back up, where it gets larger again. Then again, it's usually more circular. Yeah, something like that. Then we can bring this in. Just like that. Now we have the end of a bone. One thing I also should do is shade smooth, and I should go to here, add a subdivision surface modifier. Oh wait, did I ever change these? I did not. I need to change stir render to 1. I am wondering if it takes the render or editor version. I do not know. Let's try shrinking this down even more. Let's try bringing this out a little bit. Fill that in. It looks more like a saddle than a bone. Bone. See, it has like, it does have this like ball on it. It's kind of like two spears being meshed to the end of an oar, like a boat oar, instead of just like a T-grip. Weird way to think about it, but that's a good way to visualize it, I guess. Hmm. So let's start off by making the sphere at each end. So what I could do is something like this. Extrude out here and here. Here, just at all the corners. Treat it more like half circles. That would work, I think. Hmm. This is a weird shape to make. Hmm. Honestly, that could work as well. If I just make the bone shape on a plane and then try to extrude out where I need. Yeah, I'm gonna try that because this is looking really weird right now. So let's start off of a plane. Let's turn off the subdivision surface for now. So we take this. Then we have like the crease of a bone. Something like that. Something like that. I can go ahead and fill this in. Fill this in. Let's go ahead and duplicate this actually. Rotate it on the Z by 180. Then we'll go ahead and fill in between here, just like that. We can then go ahead and add some loop cuts here, or some subdivisions. Can I select the edge, please? Select that edge, select this edge. All right, I got it. It's hard to see. Let's make like 3 cuts. Scale it all on the X, scale it on the Y a little bit. Scale it overall up. Let's scale this down a little bit on the Y. Same for this side. There we go. Now we need to obviously add some depth. Subdivide this. Just like that. Then connect it to this. Hold on. Yeah, that's incorrect. Delete the face there. Delete the face there. Delete only faces. Now we got to do the same thing here and here. Let's go ahead and grab these. Subdivide all those. That's actually fine that I add the edge cuts. Something like this to give it a little bit more depth. All right, let's connect it. Fill that. Fill that. Fill that. Fill this. Unfortunately, there is one slight problem, and that's the fact that now my other edges are probably going to be wrong. Because, yeah, this is now connected to a lot of things. Now, it's going to have to delete all the faces anyway. I might as well just delete all the faces now. Just get it out of the way. Something like this. I think the center should be almost spherical. I'm actually going to do that. Then that comes down. I don't think I'm going to be making a unique bone for each bone. Unlike the ribs, which were pretty easy to make, this is taking a while. So for now, I'll go ahead and probably just duplicate it. I might change it a little bit for each bone, but I won't start off with a completely unique bone for each one. Just like that. There we go. Now we go ahead and do this. Fill it out. I think I'm going to take these and extend them to the right, or extend them on the X. Let's bring that up a little bit. Fill that out. I think I need to split this in half. Give this an upwards portion and a downwards portion as well. Just like this. These can both be filled out. Alright. And then I'm going to fill out this. Which goes like this. And this. I guess all of these need to be split as well. Something like that. Honestly, these might need to be split as well. Maybe not. Maybe they do. Yeah. So I need to split these all in half. So that means I need to delete these faces, actually. Delete only faces. We're gonna take this, subdivide. Take you, subdivide. you, subdivide. And there's one more. Subdivide. Now I can take each of these and split them apart. Just like this. There we go. Now we just gotta fill it in. Just like that. Honestly, that's probably a better thing for a triangle to fill in. Just like that. Just because of how it was bended, that's why I said it's probably better for a triangle. Fill that in. Fill that in. Etc., etc. Alright, fill in the other side now. I guess like this. Yeah. And like that. That's not a triangle. Yeah, no. I need 2 more points down here. I might as well just shift duplicate this and then move it down. Rotate this on the x-axis. Yeah. That's on the x. I need to move it on to y. Cool. Okay. Almost there. So now we need to do this. All right. Now we need to do... Yeah, now we need to do the other side. Hooray. Rotate this on the X. Move it down a little bit, just like that. All right, now we need to do this. Yeah, I did it like this. Triangle here. Triangle there. Triangle there. Fill these in like this. Fill these panels in. Fill that in. Fill that in. And then this one in. There we go. That still looks really weird. I might have to look at this again. I don't want to just make some stick arms, unfortunately. I feel like that's a little too lazy. Might be smart though, to be honest. Right, there we go. And one more. Bam. Now this half of the bone is complete and it looks bad. That looks even worse. Like it just looks weird. It looks like a Y. Not like a joint. I'm not sure how to fix that. I might just have to go with a more simplistic design. Yeah, you know what? I don't think it's gonna work. Yeah, I'm gonna start over. It just doesn't look right. I think I'm gonna go with a more simplistic ball and joint gimmick, where I have like a, let me pull up paint to sort of show what I mean. So the problem is what I was going for was, your typical, you know, bone, your typical cartoon bone, like what you'd see like a dry bones throw. The problem is like this is thicker, this is thicker, and you know all these joints are thicker. But then you get to the center, which is cylindrical, but this is thinner and it's just a weird shape. So what I'm thinking about going with instead is more of a joint and ball. Think of like what you might see on like a train carriage. Well, I guess not on what train carriage, but I don't know. But where you have a joint, I guess more like a neuron, kind of, where you have your bone, and when you get to the end, it's either a ball like this, or it is a joint. So it has a receptor. That way it still looks like it meshes together, but it is, not as weirdly modeled. I think that might work a little better. I'm not sure though. Oh dang, I've been streaming for an hour. We've gotten 4 ribs done. Not good. I kind of already have this sort of joint mechanism here with the shoulder. There we go. Um, Actually, we'll just make this the ball. So this is the ball. Um, Looks like a nuclear bomb. How long should this arm piece be? About the length of the rib cage, or a little longer then. So these arms are a little too long. Looks like a pipe arm. That's not really what I'm going for. Let's try this. I think the ball is too defined. Wait, some faces got messed up. There were some edges that were messed up. Let's shrink this a little bit. Yeah, something like that, actually. Something like that. So this is gonna be arm left. Um. Oh wait. What am I doing? I gotta go back to when the subdivision surface existed. Arm left. There we go. Duplicate that. Make that right. Now we need to go over here. It should be parallel. It should be, yeah, it's symmetrical there, so I don't actually have to flip its X. I just have to flip this part of the X to location. Oh, yeah, that's a problem. Object set origin, origin to volume. Um, yeah, I might as well just, I don't really feel like deleting it and recreating it. Copy its location, paste its location, times -1. Copy that, paste that, copy that, paste that. There we go. Now if we go here, he's got arms, but I need to give them the material. Bone. The real question is, should I give him fingers? Probably not. Like, I want the bones to be recognizably, but I want them to be big. I want them to, be shovels. Or I want them to be huge. Absolutely massive bones. That way, when they're flying around, the player can actually see them. Honestly, that might be one thing I need to do. I should make it so when you explode, your bones might grow to like 1.1 times the size. That way, they look normal. Or they look larger. That way you can actually see them. Maybe not 1.1 because that would make it a little bit too... I want the player to notice that they grow. Because that would be weird if your bones just suddenly grew from exploding. But like, I want the player to subconsciously be able to say, "Ooh, bones swirling around me, I can dash." I want that to be something they can immediately recognize that they have access to it. And I think having the bones grow a little bit would help. Honestly, one thing that might be good is if I rotate these 90 degrees to have you have them in a T pose. Meh, not right now. It might be smart though. And I can rotate them here. So I need to rotate this one on a Y by 90. Flip that. Y should be the same. Yep. And now I need to go ahead and give him some lower arms. Arm anatomy. Alright, so oh, this is called the clavicle, not a rib. Clavicle. L. Clavicle. R. I'm still going to include it with the spine because it's really similar to a spine. Um, Next we have the radius, which is actually two bones. Or it's the radius and ulna. Hmm. Should I give it two bones? In the normal human body, there are two bones, the radius and ulna. Then again, I'm not making fingers either. But I could include the radius and ulna. That's two bones. It might help make it look more natural. Like the humerus, which is what this is. Hmm. This is one large bone, though. So it makes sense for it to be kind of like this. Granted, it's normally more blocky on the end, but I think it looks more natural like this. Let me think. What would make it look more natural? Also, I'm going to change what this is called from bone. Now I'll leave it for now. I might change the naming structure when I add in the armature. That way my program can detect what it's actually looking at. Oh, excuse me. I'll probably just treat it as one bone. Let's start off by trying it with a cylinder. So now if we go ahead and do this, we'll be able to go ahead and extrude that. Just like that. Subdivide this. Give me a moment. I'm gonna go ahead and do this. I'm going to. Sorry about that. I am back. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead, we're going to shrink this down. So if I were to basically copy the design, I don't think it looks as good here. Like, I mean, technically, yeah, it works, kind of, but I don't think it really looks as good. It's too blocky of a connection. So yeah, let's start off with a plane and do that. Alright. So we're going to do this, shrink this down. Then we're going to go ahead and shrink this down. It starts off with a pretty, I guess, holy connection. Like, sort of like what I already had. But it ends on a more bulbous end. So something like this. It's about the same length, actually, as the humerus. So this is actually a little bit extreme. So we do something like that. Let's go ahead and make a triangular bone. Actually, I'm going to extend this a little bit more. Z. Where it actually extends out at the end. No, that's not what I want. Bring that over onto Y, bring it down onto Z. Fill that in. Expands out in all directions, technically, but it's bent a little bit in one direction. See, it's kind of like this. Let's try how this looks. All right. Now extrude out. Bring it down a little bit. Just a tad, you know. Fill that. Fill this. Extrude that out. Do not move it on to Y. Move it on to Z. Actually, I do want to move it on to Y a little bit. And it goes to the direction of the middle of the hand, actually. And since it's going to be the left hand, is going to face this way. This is actually correct. So fill that in. Fill this in. And finally, fill this in. Let's go ahead and expand everything on a Z. Especially this last area. It needs to be larger. More defined. Maybe not so much on the Y. This last thing right here, though, should be a lot larger. Maybe I should subdivide this face. Let me try. Yeah. And no. Scale this up a little bit. Now scale it down a little bit, actually. And then what I want to do is take this face and scale this up. Or actually, I'm going to insert a face. That way it gives you a flatter connection here. Yeah, actually that looks right. Maybe. Nah, not really. It needs to be tilted this way, kind of. So it looks more natural. Because the point is the center of this connects with the other bone near the thumb. Which in the case of the left hand, the thumb's going to be right here. Granted, I'm not actually making a thumb most likely. I'm just going to make it, well, I'm going to make a thumb, but I'm not going to make regular hands. I mean, that's okay for now. Let's start with something that looks like this. Set the material to bone. What music is this? What fight is this? I actually don't remember. 135 minutes in. Battle of Ludwig. So this is the Lud sub. Or the Lud ship. It's been so long since I played Paper Mario Color Splash. Alright, so this is the radius. Radius L. Let's go ahead and object, set origin, origin to center of volume. And then we can go ahead and copy this. Flip it. times -1. Bam. This might be a little bit too long, but I think it's okay for now. The other thing is more like a cylinder. Let's just use a cylinder. Alright, subdivision surface. Shade smooth. Rotate 90 degrees. Whoops, I do not want to scale it in object mode. Just like that. Insert a face here. I'll bring it out a little bit just so it's a little better. Just like that. I'm actually going to start rotating it a little bit. I'm going to merge this actually at center, so it actually comes to a point. That is actually not right. Because it comes to a flat stop that actually gets larger at the very end. This is actually more accurate. Yeah, that's more correct. This should be a little bit smaller though. I should probably make this a little bit smaller too. Object. Whoops, let me select that. Object. We need to, not shade smooth, set origin, origin to volume. Turn that down. Set the material to not hole, but to bone. I need to name this to ulna. L. Also, I never named this to radius R. Now I can go ahead and say Alt D. Rename this to ulna R. There we go. Flip this around. Might as well just set this to 0. It's not worth it. -1. And it doesn't fit as I would expect, because this is 90 instead of 90. Wow, that actually was all that I needed to do. Yeah, cool. Yeah, so what's next? Hold on, let me check, see if anyone's chatted anything. Nope. Chat is still dead. How unfortunate. But hey, now we got some arm bones. This is so cursed. Me when I'm playing with the boys. I still want to see if I feel like it's definitely possible to climb walls with this. Yo, Shells to Shells is here. Why did it say 0 viewers then? But yeah, you can totally climb walls with this. Honestly, less broken than being able to infinitely fly. Now this is the real speedrunning tech that everyone was waiting for. So yeah, let's give him some hands now. I'm not making really complicated hands though right now. I don't feel like it. Let me call this General Bones now. Let me also make a new collection. We're gonna call this um, Arms. And we're just gonna put you, or you, or not you. All my arm bones in here. And we'll also put the hands in here. Should I start with a cube? I mean, we probably could, because I'm just going to be deforming it. Yeah. So we'll just start off by adding in a subdivision surface. Um, Add in the material, the bone, shade smooth, scale it onto Z, scale it onto Y, scale it onto Z some more, scale it on the X a whole bunch. I'm actually going to start off by extruding it a little bit, just to give it a little bit more detail than this. I'm not just having a cube be the hands. I may be lazy, but I'm not that lazy. Okay, maybe I am that lazy, but not in this case. I want this to look good. I do want this game to look good. Why, hello there, Plaxif. Glad you can make it. Thank you for joining us. As you can see, I am making hands, kind of. I'm not spending a lot of time on this part. But I'm currently trying to make my skeleton model for Skeletower. Yeah, I think we can just scale this down a little bit in general. We need to add a little bit of height variance to give it a little bend. Like, when you have a hand, normally it bends. Like, you can see even here, I'm keeping my hand flat. And unless you perfectly do this, even then it has this little bend. So having this little cover, this cup, is what I'm going to go for. So we're actually going to bring this up a little bit more. Take it all, rotate it a little bit now. Rotate it a little bit. Bam. I don't know why, but this song reminds me of like the Family Guy theme. And I have no idea why it does that. I don't like it. Like I don't like the fact that it reminds me of Family Guy, but it does. So yeah, I do need to give him thumbs because that would look weird if he didn't have thumbs. The rest of his fingers are not needed. Yo, thank you for the donation, Plankton. Thank you so much for the support. I really appreciate it. Nah, I'm a bot. Dang, I just got donated to by a bot. This is so sad. But seriously, thank you. Alright, so it's the end of a hand. Since you just joined, I guess I can show off what we have so far. So far, I've already made the main gimmick, which is the ability to, obviously you can walk, you can go down and up slopes. All the game physics feel pretty good so far. I'll probably be doing tweaking throughout the game's life though, as I work on it and figure out the exact platforming challenges. But obviously the real thing that is really cool is that if you go ahead and hit down, you can merge both skeletons into one, and then you can go ahead and dash in any direction. So that means if I wanted to get over this wall, I could then do this where I try to dash over it. Obviously, this wall is pretty high, but even still, there's some really cool stuff like wall jumping that lets you do some cool shenanigans, a bit of funny business, if you will. So if like you're about to die like this, you can save yourself by sacrificing a skeleton, and that's gonna be the main gimmick. Right now, I'm mostly working on making it so when you have the model, something I'm going to do is when you explode, this heart that's inside of your chest is going to literally burst out of your bones, and all the bones are sort of going to follow it, like how a dry bones recombines itself. But they're all going to be following this heart, and the heart's going to merge with the other heart, or it's going to be half a heart, and then as both hearts are merged, you're only going to be playing as one skeleton, and all the other bones are going to be swirling around as a sort of vortex. And then when you dash, that's when it's all going to come back together into an animation. However, the way I have to do it is procedurally. So I'm going to need both an armature to separate from and to recombine to, as well as a procedural stuff. So right now I'm making the model so I can build an armature around it, so I can use that armature in the animation. All right, that is not the right material. Subdivision surface. Oh wait, I never duplicated this. Is this good? Yep. I can just Alt-D it. Set that to negative. Oh. Delete that actually. I need to set its origin to the center of its volume. And now I can hit Alt-D. Set that to R. And then I can go here to its position, flip that, and because the hand is backwards now, we just set that to -1, and now it's good. Now I'll just make a quick thumb. Did I name it? Yeah, I did name it. All right, so thumb L. I will say that I am probably going to remake the model when I'm closer to being done. This is just a placeholder because I need something to test with that isn't just tofu cube. The thumb is probably going to be relatively simple. Let's move this back a little bit, actually. GY. Just so there's more room for the thumb to exist. Just like this. And, okay, I will move this back a little bit more. I could technically move it that way, but I think this is still a little bit better. I'll do on individual origins, scale down a little bit. Not that much. Need to scale down a little bit. Just like that. That might be too much. Yeah, it is. There we go. There we go. I'll give it a little bit of a joint, which means I need to do this. Rotate it on the Z, and just like that. Good enough placeholder thumb. I'll shrink it down a little bit though. This is, yeah, this is not at all what a bone thumb looks like. Then again, this isn't what the bones of a hand look like at all. The most realistic thing are the radius and ulna. This is just, I don't know, placeholder. But it works, so it's fine. Set its transform to that. And now we can go ahead and Alt-D it. It has no rotation, which is good. That means all I have to do is flip that, and boom. And now if I check the material, yep, it has bone. That means if I save and go back to Unity, it should update. Let me go ahead and use the bounding box. Scale this down a little bit. Apply the scale. Did not like that. Okay. All of it is from right. I don't know why I can't apply the scale. Oh, because they're negative. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Because they're a negative scale, it can't apply it. I'm assuming, at least. If I try to apply this scale. No, it allows it. So it's just lying to me when it says it can't apply all the scale. Or it might be because there's instances. Yeah. That's about what I was expecting. Alright, now it's time to make the pelvis. So what does a pelvis look like? I could make it really simplistic, which is probably for the best. Make large blocky parts, which will also help with visibility. Let me close arms, ribs. Should I have the pelvis actually connect in the back? That's the real question. I could have it literally be two separate parts. Let me see what an actual pelvis looks like. So the actual pelvis is split into multiple parts. Like you have the um, yeah. So it does have parts in the middle. A normal pelvis does. But mostly it comes down to these two large limbs. So I could just rely on that. And ischium. Let me think. I think I'm gonna go with two large panels, sort of, and that'll do it. Hmm. So what would be the best option? I think that is a good idea. Just go with the two large panels. But then I can call it a stylistic choice. So let's try this. The pelvis L. And then we're going to go ahead and set its material to bone. Now we're actually going to grab this back part. Normally I start off with the left part, but I'm actually going to start with the back part here. We're going to bring this together like this. And we're going to bring that like this. Boom. Something like that. Then bring that together like this. Then we can bring that here. Okay, the skeleton isn't that thick, so we're going to go ahead and shrink that down a little bit. Then we can bring this up a little bit. Just like that. I feel like that's too large of a bone. Also, I need to subdivide it. Yeah, I think this should be closer together. Scale this in. And then I expand it a little bit here. Unlike most of my other bones, I'm going to make this one rectangular instead of triangular. That means it'll take a little bit more work, but I think it's worth it. Fill that in. Fill that in. I think I can bring this side in a little bit. Yeah. Bring that up. Extend. Just like that. Just like that. Put it up on the Y. Should be getting a little bit thicker as you get up. Yeah, that works. Make sure I'm only grabbing the stuff that I need. Let me move this out a little bit so it's not clipping into the other bone. There we go. I'm actually going to leave this to be a little bit larger and a little bit more out. I think that'll look better. Looks pretty good. This needs to be a little bit more scrunched though. Whoops. Shrink that down a little bit. I'm going to bring this up a little bit. Bring this down. I think I can rotate it a little bit more. Something like that. That works as a good pelvis, I think. I think I can make it a little bit thicker down here, though. That works, I think. It's a little weird. But I mean, it's about what I would expect from a pelvis. Alright, so we Alt-D it. Actually, no, we don't. We set its origin now to the volume. Now we Alt-D it. And now we can R it and do the whole flips, all the flips and stuff. We need to go to transform, change its position to 0, set that to negative. Oh, one thing I didn't do is I need to do this. I need to have a spot where the leg will actually connect to it. The leg connects like right here. So how do I go ahead and... I'll have to like subdivide this. Subdivide it like this maybe. Just all of these subdivide. Unfortunately, that means I'll have to delete a couple of the faces. But that should be okay. So I'll have to delete this face and the front face because I need to reconnect the faces so that way it's correct. To make it clean, I'm going to go ahead and connect them as triangle faces here. And then I'll connect these triangle faces here. That way no side's getting preferential treatment. Just like that. Now I'm going to take this and bring it down. Let's start off with this part. So we can bring that down for starters. Then we can start bringing this down as well. I think I got it, yeah. I need to get this as well. Oh, that went the wrong way. I was like, why does it look so weird? No wonder. No duh. I think I need to actually put one more here. I think I need to subdivide these. Which unfortunately means I have to delete these faces again. Otherwise it'll look really weird. Delete faces here. Delete faces here. Alright, there we go. Fill these in. Just like that. Fill that in. And fill these in. Whoops, wrong vertice. There we go. And now it's filled in. Now you get this sort of contour where the leg can slide in. Cool. I think this might need to be smoothed twice, honestly. I mean, that works though, for now. Hmm. Let's move it up a little bit. Yeah. Honestly, I think the arms are kind of growing on me because it kind of looks like sleeves. So I'm actually kind of happy with that. Yo, welcome to the stream, Awesome TMC. Glad you can make it. Thank you for joining us. You just finished your AP Calculus BC exam? Good job. You're very confident you have a 5? I remember when I took an AP Calculus AP exam, I did not feel confident I had a 5. I felt very much like I did not have a 5. And the reason is because that was a that was COVID time. I was online. I was taking that class online. So that class, that my AP Calculus class, I did not learn how to do calculus. I learned how to use Desmos to do calculus for me, and I had to take the AP exam in person. You aren't allowed to use Desmos in person. And to be clear, I was allowed to use, Desmos online. It's a calculator for the tests, I mean. But yeah, so I did not get a 5 on that one. um, should I go with 2 for this? Wait, it doesn't share this? I thought it would. I thought it would share the property, the subdivision. Weird. So now if we go here, they look like feet. Oh my gosh, they look like tiny little feet. Oh my gosh, it reminds me of a Halloween decoration. It's a skeleton, sort of animatronic skeleton. But one thing that it does is when you want to put it away, you're able to compress it. And one of the things you do to compress it is you literally just shove its body down into its legs. So it's just really short. And this reminds me of that. Just tiny little, just short little skeleton. Oh my god. Oh my gosh, this is hilarious. I'm just imagining him just waddling around. Oh gosh, now I'm imagining him just running as fast as he can. Just running at like 5 miles an hour, just trying his best. Just with these huge arms. Damn, I shouldn't be calling him him because its gender is now attack helicopter. If you would like some proof, um, just spins. They've decreased the minimum score 4 or 5 since COVID. Oh. But yeah, by now I've learned calculus. I know calculus now. I did have to, I mean, like, I've taken it already in college. Doesn't mean I'm free from it. I will still say that I do not like trig calculus. Like, I get it. I can understand a lot of a trig, like, oh, sine goes to cosine when you take the derivative and goes back when you take the antiderivative. Sure, I get it. I do not like going to, like, once you would say, okay, well, what's the derivative of tangent or tangent squared or sine squared? Well, sine squared is actually understandable because um, the that's just chain rule. But once you get to stuff like, oh, take the antiderivative of secant squared, yeah, you lost me at take. I do not like integration with trig. Secant squared x. Yeah, the only trig rule that I memorized is sine squared plus cosine squared equals 1. I know there's other ones. I just don't know what those other ones are. But I will say one thing I do like about these arms is that they kind of look like sleeves, so it looks like he's closed. Integral secant squared is tan x. Of course it is. Yeah, that's great. I mean, I guess it makes sense because tan x is just sine squared or sine x divided by cosine x, and then you could say the stuff like bottom derivative top times or plus, no, minus top derivative bottom. In order to remember that one, the other ones are based off sine squared plus cosine squared equals 1. Yeah. I especially hate it when it goes to like, okay, well, I guess those aren't the worst. When you have stuff like sine 2x, like the 2 is in the sine equation. I don't know. I don't like trig. All right, now it is time to look up leg anatomy. Aren't you excited? Um, can I like pop out the chat? No, no, I can't. Okay. I'd love to be able to, pop out the chat. That way I could see it while I look at stuff. While I look at my reference images. But no, I can't. It's not gonna let me. In that case, like, um, oh well. I can just do that. I'm looking on Streamlabs, and I probably can, but I'm not gonna waste time going to it. I got it split screen, so it's okay. Top three dots. It says participants, toggle timestamps, and send feedback. I think you can do it on YouTube. I know I've done it before. Leg anatomy. Man, my search history must be really weird. I mean, not really. What do you expect? Because I've already had to look up like 4 anatomy parts. So I wonder if I wonder if anyone who saw it would be like, this guy is either doing artwork based off of humans, B, is a doctor researching humans, or C, it needs to be investigated by the FBI due to their collection of body parts that are not their own. Alright, so this is leg. Could I have higher than just basic leg? There we go, that's what I like to see. Legs. Ah, so this is the one that's really weird and bumpy. I'm not doing that. I've already tried to make really long and bumpy legs. Did not work well. Hmm. Should I give my character kneecaps? I think I will. I think he deserves kneecaps. Let me go ahead and make a new collection for leg. Should I put pelvis and legs? Like, nah, I didn't put shoulders in there. It's kind of a connector. Also, I'm gonna just change its name. This to spine. I did not need to duplicate that. I needed to hit Shift A so I can now build out the leg. Alright, label this as bone. Shade smooth. Then we're going to take you, modifier, um, subdivision surface. Cool. If we keep the leg straight, we can actually we won't have to do inverse there, which will be really nice. So if we do something like this, shrink it down a little bit more, I think. Then we make this larger. I think we can make it a little bit smaller overall. Um, I don't really want to bend this, but I think I'm gonna have to, which is unfortunate. Let me try a little bit more. First of all, let me flip this upside down. Let me fit this more in here. There we go. Scale this on to Y. That looks weird. No. I need a receptor now. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do this. Scale this in, insert a face, extrude this back, scale in again, or merge. That's too detailed. Insert, grab, back. There we go. The same ball socket joint that I had with the other one. The Bone Man is almost done. He just needs some legs. Oh, I guess I do need one thing. I need to bring this into the... I need to bring this back. Really, I didn't get it? Oh, it's rotated this way, so yeah, I have to get these. Should probably get these as well. Let me get these at the very bottom, specifically. And these, I guess. This is so I have a place to put the kneecaps. Alright, cool. Now I just have to make the tibula, fibula. Um, where is this put? Oh, is it in spine? It went into spine. You know, that's where all the legs are, in the spine. I'll just call this leg, or I'll call this phi. L. My kneecaps that I'm stealing from you. Alright, yeah, I can just alt this. This is phi right. Now we can go ahead and flip this. Oh, yeah, that's unfortunate. Um, Object set origin to volume. Ah, yeah, that is the problem. Let's go ahead and set this one to origin volume. And now, is this one in the center? Yeah. I wish I could just copy all of these values in one. Copy as... No. Alright, we'll copy it one by one. It's not that many. It's, you know, what? It's free values. It's not that big of a deal. Bam. Bam. Now he's got some legs. Some legs. Delicious. I think I got the length about right. I might have made his pelvis too big though. I don't know. Yeah, I think I'm gonna rotate the legs. Rotate them outward a little bit. Object. Set that to there. Um, Now we do have to copy everything over again. And I will have to set its scale to -1. That is not -1. Pretend it's intentional. Ah, that's a great idea. You see, it was all planned from the start to be bad. Huh? What? Why is it over here? Oh, I must have pasted it into the wrong slot. Not what I wanted to do. Control C, Control V. There we go. So now let's give him some kneecaps. First of all, I want to check to make sure it looks okay in Unity. He looks so goofy with the heart. I should shrink the heart a little bit or move it. I guess the heart will be inside of him most of the time. Also, this is going to be fun. Every time we click on the player, it's going to select a random bone if I ever double click on him. Ah, yes, my favorite, spine segment number 6. Way better than spine segment number 5. Alright, let's give him some kneecaps. The kneecap should be really easy to model. Shade smooth, material bone. Then we're going to go ahead and add modifier, um, subdivision surface. Set that to 1. We're going to go ahead and make this a triangle. So we're going to merge these at center. Scale this on the X. Scale this way down. Scale it on the Y a little bit. No. Or just scale it down some more. I could do it this way. It's a little annoying because I have to delete some faces so it looks right, but it's not that big of a deal. Yeah, I have to delete these faces. Delete only faces. Then I have to go ahead and reform these. Boom, boom. Thankfully they're triangular faces, so I only have to do 2 fills instead of 3. Makes my life a little easier. Then we're going to go ahead and bring this out a little bit. All scale on the Y. just like that. That's about what a kneecap looks like. Actually, it's going to be scaled in a little bit more even. Um, Let me go back to before I rotated it. Um, yeah. Let's scale this down a little bit more, and then I don't know why, a lot more. Let's scale it down. Let's actually increase its width. Yeah, that looks good enough. Remember, this is a placeholder model. I'm about 95% sure we're going to come back and fix some stuff after I'm, closer to the end of the game and when I'm more skilled at Blender as well. Actually, this is more in the center. All right, where did this go? Oh, it went into spine again. Wonderful. Let me click on leg so it stops doing that. All right, so now we have kneecap. Actually, I'm just going to call it knee because it kind of is just the knee bone. Or knee L to be precise. Let me go ahead and then Control S, and then I'll Control or Alt D it. Then I can go ahead and flip its, position. Oh wait, before I do that, like an idiot, I forgot to do set origin to volume. Now I can Alt D it. And the reason I'm really focused on setting its origin to be the center is because when I actually um, when I'm destroying the object, I want to treat like when it's on the armature, it doesn't matter because the armature, it's going to say, okay, you're 5 away from the armature, then do the stuff 5 away, or it's going to use its actual position, the actual position of the, you know, of the bone. It's not going to look at what it thinks, the object says its position is, because it's actually looking at the vertices of the model itself. That differs from this, or from my procedural stuff, which is going to say, okay, object, you go to this position. So if the object's actual position um, and the position it says it's at are way off, sure, its actual position is going, or its technical position is going to go to where I said it to go, but there's going to be a disconnect. So that's what I'm really trying to prevent. All right, set that to R. Let's set that to positive, and then set this to negative. Bam. Now he has some kneecaps. Let's go ahead and make the tibia next. Just like with the arms, I'll make the tibia and fibula. And I'll probably just give him some block feet. Just because I think that'll look good. What's the best way to make a tibula? Or a tibia? Probably just the same way that I made the... Um, yeah, I'll make it the same way that I made the radius. Tibia L. And then I need to give it the bone, the bone material. and a subdivision surface modifier. So this should be a little bit shorter than the the phi. So I'll do that. So let's scale this down. We should actually start up here. Should I make this a square bone? No, I'm gonna make it a triangular bone. And this should actually be a little bit closer to the inside of the leg than the outside. Just a little. This will allow it to be, if I have it closer to the inside, that gives us more room for the fibula. Alright, now we can do this, like that. Give us a triangle. Fill. And then I need to, actually this should probably be farther back. Bring this over, like that. Yeah, I guess these are going to be squares. It's just another side. Let's go ahead and increase the size of this. We can actually fill this because we're going to be doing a breast through extrusion. Let's actually decrease how wide it is a little bit. It needs to be pretty wide though. Also, let's make sure this is actually fitting um, inside of the little crevice I hollowed out of a leg. Granted, the fibia also has to fit in here, but still. This should take up basically all of the space. The fibia is honestly more on the side, so I'm actually going to make it take up all the space. Looks a little flat. Let me go ahead and bring these. Let me bring this out a little bit. On the Y, please. Something like that. Let me do something like this. I kind of want the bone to become more cylindrical. So I might actually make it a cubic instead of a triangular pyramid at some parts. I don't think the entire part of it needs to be, nah, it all needs to be cubic, which is unfortunate. And at least it makes that a little bit easier. Now I only have to do 2 fills here. Do this, fill, 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 and fill. Now go on to Y, like I said. Bring this back a little bit, actually. Bring this back. Now go on to Y, like I said. And actually shrink these a little bit. All scale on the X. Do that on the Y as well. Oh, I can bring this up a little bit, and that'll make it a little better. There we go. Now go on the Y. Now go up on the Z a little bit. I feel like this is a little too short. Let's make it a little bit longer. Yeah, I'm actually kind of happy with this. It's not perfect, but I think it gets the overall gist of a leg. Cool. I can live with that. I didn't scale it there, correct? Now we need to set its origin into the volume. Unova drill, Alt D. Make this the right one. Flip it in terms of position, then flip it in terms of scale. And just like that, we got legs. One more part, the feet, and then we're done. With the model, at least. It's only 3 o'clock as well, so we have time to do more stuff. How much more I'm going to do this stream, I do not know. It's already been 3 hours of modeling, which is quite a bit of time to model. Man, it is getting hot in this room. I'm going to go ahead and turn on my fan. There we go. Ah, the cool air. I guess that's one thing I could do. I'm going to bring this over a little bit. I'm just going to bring this, just going to drag it over a little bit. That might be a little too much. Yeah. That'll work. I'm mostly doing this so the fibula looks correct. Let's see how this looks in Unity. Obviously, the models don't fit the hitboxes yet, but that's something we're going to have to do later. Yeah, this is why I thought it was a good idea to make them the bones bigger, so that way they're a little bit easier to see. Because right now they're a little bit tricky. The characters are a little tricky to see. Yeah, I might want to change the camera view as well. Let's make it so I can zoom in a little bit more. Let's try 10. Man, yeah, that's disorienting. I should probably have multiple levels of zoom in, because that is quite disorienting, I will say. I don't know. Let me change this to 15 for now. Yeah, I feel like that's less jarring, but still lets you see the characters a little bit more. One thing I am going to do is I'm going to create an outline. That way you can always see the character. Or it's easier to see just the outline of a character. Unfortunately, I'm not very good at shaders, so that's going to take some work. Can I do this to climb the wall? Kind of. Like, that actually works better than jumping. You get more height, about the same amount of height as a jump by bouncing. That is so weird. That's such a cool mechanic. I like that I implemented that. Just being able to just say, you know what, screw it, bounce. Oh gosh. That is kind of weird when you press up against the other player. I don't think it's bad though. All right. So yeah, let's create the feet. We have to make feet. All right. I think I made feet once before, and that was for the zombies. I made shoes. So I don't have much experience with this. Actually, that's not true. I made one for an animation club. I made a character model. But yeah, feet are going to be interesting. Yeah, I'm making block feet. Oh, but first we have to make the fibula. the fibula, if I must say. All right, let's do that. It's cylindrical. I'm just gonna use a cylinder, I guess. Yeah, I could honestly probably just use a free thing. Simply don't have feet for lore reasons. Ah, yes. When the scientist kills you and takes half of your heart, he also takes your feet for research. I hate that. No. 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 Nah. No. No. I disagree with that statement. God damn it. Despite how funny and quirky it would be to do that. No. Also, welcome to the stream, Rock Rough Ruins Games. Glad you can make it. Thank you for joining us. As you can see, Bone Man almost done. Currently, we are making a fibula, which is a bone. We need to select this face, shrink it. That was not the Z direction. I do want to kind of bend this. Let's do that. Yeah, we'll just back up on this, actually. Slight bend. Rotate. Ooh, I can do that as well. Oh. I will say I do like the Wendy Boss theme and Color Splash. Pretty nice. All right. Object, set origin, origin to center of mass. Set this name to fibula. L. Then we're going to go ahead and Alt-D it. Set that to positive. Then set that to negative. All right, now it is time to make feet. I'm going to spend as little time on this as humanly possible. Let's go ahead and add material bone. Yep. We're gonna go down here. First of all, we need to name this to feet or foot L. Scale down. Scale on the Z. Scale on the X. Okay, I actually do kind of, this looks really bad. Subdivide. The white putty. That's what it looks like, just white putty or clay. As such, I must mold it. Okay, why is this so high up? I don't know what it is. Something just looks wrong. Nah, I like them when they're higher up. I think that looks okay, actually. I'll take it. Oh, that's probably it. The fact that it doesn't come to a point. If anything, it avoids coming to a point. Scale. If I merge all these. No, that doesn't look good. Object, set origin, center of mass, volume. Alt D. Foot R. Alright. Man. Let's set its position. Flip it. Negative. And yeah, there's the test model. Cool. I guess I should make some animations. But first things first, I should fit them inside of our box. The arms should fit side to side. That should be fine. I'm more worried about the legs. So let's go ahead and we need to shrink them. All scale. How does that look? I love orthographic camera. I love it. I love how funny it is and silly it is. Can I freaking see the goddamn playing field now? Will you let me see? Will you let me see the goddamn playing field? Will you let me see it? Will you let me see it? There you go. So it could be larger than that. And we can go ahead and move it down a little bit. Just like that. That's honestly about right. Yeah, cool. Ah, chat is disconnected. Okay, refresh chat did not work. Got it, got it. Unable to connect to chat. Please try again later. Great. So the heart should not be there. The heart should be a little bit higher up. Hmm. Should also be smaller. So there we go. I guess that works, sure. Cool. I probably should make some animations. One cool thing I could do is I can make it so you have to wall jump and then bounce yourself. So it's like I'm over a pit of munchers or something. I have to like wall jump over. I have to fall down. It looks like this is being a little sussy. Hey, YouTube, you wanna work? Ah, YouTube can't be found. Okay, okay, understandable. What the hell do you mean YouTube can't be found? What do you mean by that? I don't know if I'm still live or not. Um, I'm gonna check YouTube. Let me see if I am still live. I'm gonna check YouTube on my phone. Um, hmm. Checking YouTube, your channel. It says I'm still live. Um, am I really still live? Is it lying to me? Is it like permanently buffering? Um, well, looks okay. Yeah, I mean, it's bouncing on the skeleton's head in the footage. So yeah, I guess I am still live. It's just that YouTube's being stupid. Sure, you know what? Why not? Any sane person would stop streaming now. But I am me. So too bad. Gosh, this is such a silly mechanic. Oh, that's what I'm looking for. Oh, I didn't even think about that as a mechanic. Having to shoot a guy at the ceiling so you get a ricochet off of it? Ooh, that would be fun. Because that just sends you straight down. It's just like, yeah, you're going down. All right, first things first, I want to make the outline. I think that's pretty important. So let's go ahead and do that. Yeah.